The clock ticked past 5:30 p.m., marking the end of another long, grueling day. Sam, weary from a long day at the office, just wanted to get home and unwind. He shuffled through the crowd, a nondescript figure in a gray suit, blending into the sea of people. Reaching his apartment building, he nodded to the doorman, exchanging a brief, tired smile. He stepped into the dimly lit elevator, a familiar metal box that creaked its way up the floors, carrying the weight of his exhaustion. Sam leaned against the cool glass mirror, his eyes closed, savoring the brief moment of stillness. He was looking forward to a quiet evening, a simple dinner, a good book, maybe a late-night movie to end the day. The elevator shuddered to a halt, breaking his brief reverie. He opened his eyes, expecting his floor. But something was different, something unexpected. There, nestled between floor 20 and 22, was a button he'd never noticed before, a button that seemed out of place. Curiosity piqued, Sam found himself reaching for the button, his finger hovering for a moment before pressing it. The elevator finally shuddered to a stop, its ancient mechanisms groaning in protest. The doors creaked open, revealing not the familiar hallway of his floor, but a dimly lit corridor, shrouded in an eerie silence. Sam hesitated, a knot of unease tightening in his stomach. His breath caught as he peered into the darkness, trying to make sense of this unexpected detour. The hallway was narrow, the wallpaper faded and peeling at the edges, as if time itself had forgotten this place. The air was heavy, stale, with the musty scent of old books and forgotten things. Dust particles floated lazily in the dim light, adding to the sense of abandonment. Sam stepped cautiously out of the elevator, his footsteps echoing softly in the silence. He considered going back inside, pressing the button for his floor, pretending he'd never seen the mysterious 21. But something held him back. But curiosity, like a silent siren, drew him further down the hallway. Each step felt like a journey into the unknown. The only light came from flickering gas lamps that lined the walls, casting long, dancing shadows. Their dim glow barely pierced the darkness, creating an atmosphere of suspense. Framed photographs hung on the walls, their edges yellowed with age. They seemed to watch him as he passed, silent witnesses to the secrets of this forgotten place. At the end of the hallway, a figure stood silhouetted against a single flickering gas lamp. The light cast eerie shadows that danced along the walls, creating an almost surreal atmosphere. He was an old man, his face etched with the lines of time and experience. Each wrinkle seemed to tell a story, a testament to the many years he had lived and the countless events he had witnessed. He wore a simple brown waistcoat and held a pocket watch in his hand, its gold glinting in the dim light. The watch seemed almost out of place, a relic from another era, yet it fit perfectly with the man's timeless presence. The man turned, his eyes meeting Sam's. There was an intensity in his gaze that made Sam feel as though the man could see right through him, reading his thoughts and emotions. They were a startling blue, clear and sharp, like shards of ice. It was a gaze that seemed to hold 1,000 secrets, each one more intriguing than the last. Sam felt a shiver run down his spine. It was as if the old man's eyes had reached into his very soul, stirring something deep within him. "You must be Sam," the man said, his voice a low rumble that seemed to echo in the stillness of the hallway. The sound was both comforting and unsettling, like a distant thunderstorm. Sam, unsure how to respond, simply nodded. His mind raced with questions, but he couldn't find the words to ask them. "Don't be afraid," the man continued, a hint of amusement in his eyes. There was a warmth in his expression that put Sam slightly at ease, though the mystery of the situation still loomed large. "You're not in any danger." The man's reassurance was like a balm, soothing Sam's frayed nerves. He gestured towards a wooden bench nearby, its surface worn smooth with time. The bench seemed to have been there for ages, a silent witness to countless conversations. "Come, sit with me for a while." The invitation was gentle, yet it carried a weight of importance. "We have much to discuss." The man's tone suggested that what he had to say was of great significance, something that could change everything. Sam, his legs feeling strangely heavy, made his way to the bench and sat down. He could sense that this conversation would be unlike any he had ever had before, and he braced himself for whatever was to come. Sam frowned, trying to grasp the man's words. "What do you mean?" he asked, his voice a hoarse whisper. What is this place? The old man chuckled softly, the sound like dry leaves rustling in the wind. This, he said, gesturing around them with a sweep of his hand, is the in-between, the space between then and now. It's a place where echoes of the past linger and whispers of the future can sometimes be heard. Sam shook his head, confused and more than a little afraid. I don't understand, he said. How did I get here? What is this place? The old man's eyes twinkled with a strange light. You, my boy, he said, stumbled upon a door. The man led him back to the elevator, its metal doors cold and unwelcoming in the dim light. Sam hesitated, his hand hovering over the handle. He glanced back at the old man, his eyes filled with unspoken questions. The man simply smiled, a sad, knowing smile, and nodded. It's time for you to go, Sam, he said. Sam stepped into the elevator, the metal floor cold beneath his feet. He turned back to say something, anything, but the old man was gone. The hallway was empty, the flickering gas lamps casting long, dancing shadows on the walls. The doors slid shut, sealing him inside. He pressed the button for his floor, his finger trembling slightly.